Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for coming through, you guys. Um, I'm so glad that you are here. I'm just trying to connect here, and thank you. I'm just trying to connect here, and I hope you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know because I cannot put sound at the moment. I don't know where I put my earphones. I had some earphones right here, but I don't know where I put my earphones, so I cannot hear myself. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. And today we are talking about protective styling. But whilst we wait for others to tune in, if you don't mind introducing yourself and where you are watching from, that would be really nice. My name is Eve Mafupa, and I am I'm a lot of things. I'm a hairstylist. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a business, a products business, a and also a salon. Hi, blessing. Greetings to you as well. Thank you so much for coming through. Who else is here? Please wave or something and tell me where you're watching from. And what plans do you guys have for the festive season, for the festive holidays? I don't know. Annie, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for coming through. I'm not going anywhere. I didn't book any holiday mainly because of this COVID situation. I didn't know whether to go out or to just remain put here in. Oh, let me look at you. Now I'm just seeing the playback that I'm not looking at people. I'm just looking at the computer. So forgive me. But yeah, so I am not looking at going anywhere for the holidays. We are going to be around in South Africa, Gauteng. So yeah, and what we have planned actually is activities in and around Gauteng. So we're going to do day trips to different places, especially those that are not enclosed, so that we obviously limit our exposure to contracting COVID-19. So yeah, that's what we have planned for this year for our family. And unfortunately now no one is coming to visit. We normally have the grandparents coming to visit for December holidays, but we're not having anyone coming because of travel restrictions, because our parents are in Zimbabwe and they cannot come, and so yeah. So that's basically it, and yeah, I hope you guys let me adjust the camera here. Cheryl Ferguson from Jamaica. Hey, how are you, Cheryl? And Annie, you're watching me from South Africa. I'm assuming SA is South Africa, not South Australia. And Joanne, you are from Kenya. Nice. That's beautiful. Let me just adjust my camera. My head is not coming out full. I don't know what happened. I think I shifted it a little bit. So let me just adjust it a little bit. I hope now I'll be in frame. Hopefully. Oh, I didn't adjust it too high. But I think too high is better than too. Yeah, that's better. And then let me pull it here as well. Sorry for the shake. Yeah, okay, so hey, so Joanne from Kenya, lots of love for me as well. And then GMAC from USA, thank you so much. Monique from North Carolina, and yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for coming through, for tuning in. I so much appreciate you being here to watch, to stream my live stream. So thank you so much. So as I had mentioned, as advertised, we are talking about protective styling. In my last live stream, the last one that we did last Sunday, a lot of people were asking about protective styling. How do you do it, and how long should you stay with it, and a lot of things around protective styling. And some actually requested that if we can talk about protective styling this particular live stream, this masterclass. So that's the reason why I decided to do a masterclass on protective styling. So yeah. Oh, thank you so much, JMac. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, JMac. And uh, oh, yes, Annie, I am in South Africa. I'm in SA, as in South Africa. Oh, you are based in the UK. Okay, nice. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much, JMac. She says you're looking beautiful this morning. Oh, yes, thank you so much. Now I take, like, when someone says a compliment, I didn't know how to take a compliment in the past, but now when someone says, "Hey, you look beautiful, you look nice," I'm like, "Hey, thank you." Yeah. Yeah. So, what are you guys' plans for December holidays? Are you working, or are you going on holiday? Are you going somewhere on holidays, visiting family, or just going to a resort? What are you guys doing? Let me know in the chat, and so that we can get this ball rolling. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna start pretty soon. I think we have waited quite enough for anyone who's may join this live stream, so we are going to go right into it. Okay. Thanks, Annie. Thank you so much. Um, okay, so let's get right into this live stream, into this masterclass, actually, not just live stream. Masterclass, um, we are talking about, we are talking about the, like, we are talking about protective styling, like everything about protective styling, from what it is, and also why should you do any protective styling, and when should you consider doing protective styling, especially if you are growing your hair, and also the risks that are involved, because a lot of protective styling has resulted into a lot of hair loss, actually. So you have to also make sure that you take precaution when you choose protective styling. And that's not the only option when it comes to growing your hair, but it is actually a viable option because it allows you the maximum hair growth. It retains the length that you actually grow from your scalp. So yeah, that is the reason why we need to know a lot about this topic, or about protective styling, if we are growing our hair. So so yeah, that's what I want us to talk about, and that's what you guys said you want to talk about, and that's why we're talking about it today. Cheryl says here, hey Eve, I love and learn a lot from watching your videos. Thank you so much. If only one person can say they appreciate or they learn a lot or my videos add value, I'll keep doing videos. I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, I just want to share my knowledge and then add value to you guys. So thank you so much, Cheryl. I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, um, you guys, you don't want to talk about your holidays? Come on, okay. I actually planned on going to Malawi because I am originally Malawian. I was born in Malawi by Malawian parents. So I was planning on going to Malawi, and then COVID happened. So now I am planning on going there next year. My son, who has never been to Malawi all his life, because he wasn't born in Malawi, he asked me that after his matric, which is like his high school, here in South Africa we call it matric. I don't know which other country, but after his high school, he said he had asked me that he wants to go and spend some time in Malawi, in the country of our origin. So yeah. So that's what I'm working on. We are hoping to go there next year, all things being equal. We hope the next year. It is quite an expensive journey. I don't know if we are gonna fly or we're gonna go by bus. I'm not gonna drive down to Malawi or up to Malawi because it is quite a long journey. So we are hoping that we are going to be able to fly. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that, so that we are not too tired when we get there. A road trip is also nice, but I don't want a road trip that I'm gonna have to drive because it's a tiring journey. I want to be able to sleep. What are you guys doing? Let me know. Can I ask about your experience as a YouTuber? I'm a new YouTuber and the struggle is real. Okay, yeah, so that's from Blessing Amaz. It is a struggle. Nothing is easy, really. I don't think anything worth doing on earth is easy. Everything you gotta put effort. You gotta put a lot of work into what you want to do. As long as you've got a strong why you want to do that. So if you've got a real goal and a real vision on why you want to do something, then you're gonna keep at it for as long as it takes for you to get to where you want to be, and also to as long as your why is being satisfied, is you're being fulfilled, then you can get where you want to get. But starting is never easy, and especially if you're starting off on your own, and you don't have a lot of help, and even the creation of content is not as easy, especially at the start. I will let you know, like for real, the struggle is real. I started doing YouTube in 2014, and I still remember some videos. I think they went for years, and they'd like how many, 11 or 12 views. So it was quite I wouldn't say disheartening, because I expected it. For me, it was just if one person or two people are watching my content and I'm adding value to those, then it is what it is. Because back then as well, when I started YouTube, I didn't know about YouTube paying people anything. I just wanted to do an extension of my blog, which was a platform that I was just sharing information. So I think now there's a lot of pressure to become a partner with YouTube so that you can start earning as well. But yeah, I think if as long as you have got a strong why, keep at it, and you will definitely get there. You have to put in some work, of course, and you've got to learn a lot when it comes to you're going to have to learn a lot when it comes to your to the work that you need to do, how to edit, how to create content, the ideas, how to make sure that you are you are creating fresh content and you are feeding or you are providing value to your viewers, you're going to have to put some work into that. And it is also quite a learning journey where it's not something that I didn't do production as a course or anything, but you learn as you go. So yeah, and also working with what you have, because what we have is what will get you there. And Cheryl Ferguson says, yes, yes, life is made up of challenges. After going through all through, you'll see the victory at the end. That's what I believe. Definitely, yeah. It's if you keep at it, and then if you keep developing yourself, if you keep upskilling yourself, then you will definitely get where you want to be, and you can grow from strength to strength. And I strongly believe as well that you will grow from strength to strength. Okay, all right. Without any further ado, you guys, let's do this. So it's only a pleasure, blessing. I am glad to be of some help to you. So as I said, we are talking about protective styling, and then shall we go ahead? Let me know in the chat if we can go ahead and uh, into the masterclass, or if you've got any other questions, then you can share them in the chat. I'm using my phone for the chat because that's the only other device that I can use, you guys. Okay, so tell me if you want us to go ahead in the chat, please, or shall we do a little bit of dancing? There's no music, so we can't dance. We can only. Oh, yes. Mhm. I don't even know where my glasses are. It's a good thing that I'm using my phone for the chat because I can put it as close as possible to my face and yeah, and then read the chats as we go along. Shall we start? Hi, well, you guys. Oh, J Mark just said yes. Let's, but that was a while ago. Okay, I will start anyway. Monique says let's go ahead. Okay, so let's start, you guys. So yeah, the what is protective styling? A lot of people mistake protective styling to adding hair extensions or what we normally call the long-term protective styles. But protective styling is basically you are protecting your growth from breakage or from dryness. So protective styling is basically the way that you're going to style your hair that is going to limit handling and also prevent breakage, because the more you handle your hair, the more you brush it, the more you comb it, or the more you style it, the more it breaks. So it's our hair is termed fragile because yes, a lot of people, that's generalizing actually, but yes, a lot of people have got very dry, fragile strands. So if you handle it too many times, like every morning you're combing it so that you can go to work or to school, then in the end you're going to end up with a lot of breakage. And so if you are on a hair growth journey and you want to minimize breakage, it is advisable to do protective styling. And protective styling can range from twists with your own hair or adding extension, like what I have in here. This is extension added. And also, you can do head wrap. That's a protective style as long as you're not handling your hair and combing it too often. That's a protective style. And there are short-term protective styles and long-term protective styles. So what we are talking about here, when we're talking about short-term protective styles, that is when like for example chunky twists, you can keep those for about a week or 2 weeks. That's short-term protective style. So we can also talk about a wash and go. Believe you me, a wash and go is a protective style. Why? Because you're not combing your hair every day, you're not brushing your hair every day, so as and you're not styling it every day as well, so you are handling your hair at a minimal protective styling. And then we're talking about even banning, like doing a low bun, as long as it's not combed. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So like when you've got a twist out and then you just tie it into a loose bun at your back, that's protective styling. As long as you tuck the ends in, that's protective styling, because it is going to protect your hair from a breakage, from dryness, and just being exposed to the elements. So that's what we are talking about when we're talking about short-term protective styles. And then when we go on to long-term protective styles, that's when we are talking about the ones that you're going to keep in maybe for 3 weeks or longer. So we're talking about twists, maybe smaller twists with your own hair, or with hair extensions, braids with your own hair with extensions, and cornrows, or needle and thread, or needle and yarn cornrows. There's so much that we can actually choose from when it comes to long-term protective styles. So if your hair is covered, is protected from the weather elements, or from you handling it every day, you combing it, and you styling it every day. So if you're putting your hair away, that is what protective styling is. You style your hair in a style that is going to stay like that for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, whereby you don't have to handle your hair every day, because handling your hair causes breakage. So I think that's when we are talking about. J Mark says, what about your scalp when in a protective style? So that's one of the risks of protective styling, actually, because there is some people who have got a sensitive scalp, or those who have got dandruff, or some other kind of issue with their scalp, whereby they have to wash the hair more often. So that is also one of the risks of protective styling, because when you have a protective style in, you have to choose a protective style that is going to allow you to take care of your scalp as much as you take care of your hair. So doing protective style correctly is what is going to result in you actually retaining length. Otherwise, sometimes it actually results in you losing hair. I mean, who doesn't relate to traction alopecia, where our women have lost hair here, because like around the hairline, just because of pulling the very tiny braids installed, or they were styling the hair too tight. So those are some of the things that you need to take into consideration when you are doing a protective style, and we are going to address that later, J Mark. So keep on, stay tuned. And so yeah, that is what protective styling is. You are protecting from the weather elements, from your hands, and also you are protecting from combs, and from rubbing on clothes, from exposure to the sun. So that's what protective styling is. It is basically you protecting your length from breakage, or from dryness, whereby and dryness leads to breakage, leads to brittle hair, and when something is brittle, it breaks easily, and our hair, when it gets too dry, it breaks easily. So that's what protective styling is. So yeah, and I think I did go into the why as well. Why? What for? Why should we even consider protective styling? Well, for those who are on a hair growth journey, whereby they are trying to grow out their hair, then protective style is one of the options that you can actually achieve your goals, because remember I said you are protecting your length, because hair grows from the scalp, and then the shaft, we are only protecting it from breakage. So it is that shaft that you have to control the moisture, and then you have to make sure that the protein is also well in control so that it is as strong as possible, well moisturized, not too dry, too brittle, so that it's going to break. So you are trying to minimize breakage as much as possible. That's the main reason of protective styling. That's why those who are considering, or those who are on a hair growth journey, that's it's so important that you look at some of the ways that you can actually minimize handling your hair, which is what we normally call low manipulation hairstyles, whereby you're not manipulating your hair too often. And if you if you don't manipulate your hair too often, then you're gonna have to put it in some form of protective style, such that you are not handling it, and it is styled, you're looking neat, you're looking tidy, you're looking groomed, but at the same time you are not manipulating your hair each and every day. So that's what we are talking about when you say why, what for, why should we even be talking about protective styling. That's the reason why we need to be talking about protective styling. There are a number of people that don't have to put their hair in any form of protective style, well, others, some don't have to, but others have to, because there are going to be some who have to try harder at this growing of the hair is concerned. So if you are growing out your hair, consider protective styling. It may be very useful for you. Yep. Okay, Monique says, oh, thank you. I didn't know that. I'm glad. I told you, if you are getting value from the information that I'm sharing, it just gives me energy to do it more and spend more time doing it, because I know it's helping someone out there. And yeah, so that's what I'm all about and what I'm here for, to add as much value to you guys as possible. So, one of the questions that you may want to know about is when to do protective style, when to protect the hair. So, when your hair has grown to such a length that it now touches your shoulders, and then it's going to be rubbing on your clothes like this, then that's the time that you know, look here, I need to protect my hair, especially if you're in a hair growth journey. Otherwise, if it's now touching your shoulders, then you can always just trim it off so that it doesn't touch your shoulders, period. You can just trim it off if you're not on a hair growth journey. But if you're on a hair growth journey and you want to grow your hair past your shoulders, then you need to do some form of protective style. So a protective style in that sense would be maybe pulling your hair up a little bit and then tucking it in so that it doesn't rub on your shoulders. You're protecting your hair from your clothes, and you tucking it in and protecting those ends, which are normally very fragile. That's protective styling, you guys. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons why you may want to protect your hair when as far as the when question is concerned. That's when you may consider protecting your hair. And then also, if you let's say in winter and you've got a very harsh winter, and you don't want the sun, oh no, not the sun, winter and sun, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So for example, here in Johannesburg, our winters are normally very dry, and so we normally protect our hair in winter because it is very dry, it is windy, and it is very, like, it's not humid at all, so our hair tends to get dry. And so a lot of people normally do crochet braids where their hair is covered, or even just braids, and where their hair is covered, and they can just spritz every day, in the morning or morning and evening, and then go about their day. So in the end, in winter, if you're in a harsh climate, like for example Johannesburg, Gauteng maybe, where it's very dry in winter, then you may want to protect your hair then, so that you don't expose your hair to the harsh environment. So you can do even a sew in weave if you do weaving. For me, I don't remember the last time I did a weave, but I do crochet braids. I do something that is going to cover my whole hair. So now, like, just tucking in my hair at the back may not be enough when I'm talking about winter's harsh climate. That may not be enough. So when I say, okay, I'm gonna have braids done, or I'm gonna have a crochet, those are our dogs, you guys. We got puppies. One of these days you're gonna meet them. But yeah, we got some puppies here with us. So so yeah. So in the end, in winter, when the environment or the weather is quite harsh, you may want to protect your hair. And then for those who are in very hot climates as well, like when it's very hot and the sun, UV, there's a lot of UV damage from the sun that your hair can get. So you may want to cover your head as well by maybe a head wrap, or even a wig, or crochet braids. That will also protect your hair from the harshness of the sun. And that may be when you decide to do a protective style for your hair. I don't know if you um okay, so all well. Say yes, please, in the comments. In the chat, say yes if everything is fine, if I am adding value to you guys. Say yes, and if you've got any questions, please just give me in the chats. I will gladly answer them. But yeah, so that's what we are talking about. Okay, so when there are a lot of risks that are involved when you are doing protective styling for your hair, because when done incorrectly, there is going to be some consequences. I tell you, I was talking earlier about the hairline that has receded for a lot of black women, and that's what we call traction alopecia. And then there's also a big chance of neglecting your hair, like your actual hair, especially when you are weaving or wigging. There's a big chance that you may actually neglect your hair as long as your weave is looking nice or your wig is looking nice. So that's one of the things that you have to consider as well, um, when you choose to do protective styling, which is a very viable option when growing out your hair. And then there's also scalp sows, especially for those who style their hair too tight, or uh, who go for too long with a protective style. So when our skin is not washed for too long, you may start scratching a lot. And because of that scratching, it can actually lead into sores on your scalp, and that is not healthy at all. So there are so many things that you have to consider when you're doing protective styles, as in how are you going to be washing the hair or your hair to make sure your scalp is clean and healthy and your hair is clean. And also there's also that risk of product buildup, the type of product that you're going to use for your protective style, and what you are going to use also during the time that you have the protective style on your hair. So what you're going to be spraying, are you going to be using any oils, any butters? And some of these things are going to cause some form of product buildup, and you have to take that into consideration. And then there's also stinky hair problem. I know, it's important that you still smell nice. You've got other people living around you, working around you, and it's also still important to smell nice when you get close to people. So yeah, you have to consider, if your hair is going to be stinky, how long are you going to keep the protective style for, and how are you going to keep it fresh and looking smelling fresh and looking nice. And then there's also the issue of dandruff. Some people end up having dandruff on their scalp if they don't wash their hair for too long. So that's one of the things that you need to consider when you're doing protective styling. So with traction alopecia, the solution is to make sure that your braids or your hairstyle, whatever hairstyle it is not too tight. Even if it's a head wrap. Did you know that head wraps also cause traction alopecia? Mm-hmm. I've got a friend, she is Muslim, and she used to wear the hijab too tightly around here. And for a long time, she didn't know that it was actually causing her to lose hair. Imagine. It was also quite a shock on my part. I was like, okay, for some people who don't wear a head wrap every day, well, when it comes to Muslims, sometimes they choose to wear a head wrap every day, and if you tie it too tight, that head wrap is going to cause traction alopecia. Yes, it's a protective style. It protects your hair against the harsh weather elements, but at the end of the day, it should protect all your hair, not just part of your hair, all your hair, including your hairline. So it's very important that you make sure your protective style is not too tight, because if it's too tight, it's not protecting anymore, but it's actually causing a lot of damage, and which may be very difficult to remedy once it's completely damaged. Those who have struggled with traction alopecia or with a receding hairline know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so let me get some water. Yeah, and then so with hair neglect, you know what? There's it's important to make sure that you still take care of your hair when you are in a protective style. Say you are in a crochet or in a weave or in braids, you still have hair under there, or in those braids you still have hair. So it is important that besides keeping your scalp fresh so that you don't scratch too much, then you also need to make sure that that hair, the shaft, the length of your hair, the ends are taken care of. So when you are in braids, for example, I am in some form of braids here, so when you are in braids you still have to spritz your hair as often as possible, say once a day or twice a day if your climate or if your the weather at that particular time is very dry, then twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, you need to still spray the length of your hair to make sure that it does the hair doesn't get too dry. And then if you are in a crochet or in a weave, you still, or even in a wig, you still need to wash your hair, you need to take care of your actual hair, because at the end of the day you are using that wig as a protective style, you are using those braids as a protective style. That's not your end result. You need to grow your own hair so that you can wear your own hair at other times. It doesn't, you don't need to be wearing you don't need to be in a protective style like 24/7 365 days a year. You've got hair on your head, like come on, if you've got hair, then use it and do protective styles for when you want to actually retain as much length as possible so that you can eventually wear your hair out. So that's basically what you need to do to make sure that you don't neglect your hair. You still take care of your hair each and every day, and whatever you do, whatever protective style you do, just make sure that it's going to allow you to still take care of your hair. And we can jump into scalp soles from there. It's like there's some people who it's not exactly allergic, but they they are irritated by the synthetic hair, and you need to watch for that, because scalp sores can be caused by an irritation, which is basically what for a lot of people it's the difference in pH. So they've got a sensitive skin, a difference in pH between your hair and the synthetic hair, you know, the chemicals that they clean the hair with, or that they expose the hair to, the synthetic hair. So if you if synthetic hair irritates your scalp, you need to make sure that maybe just rinse it a little bit, even in shampoo, the shampoo that you normally use for your hair. Then you can just rinse it in shampoo and then condition it so that the pH is kind of closer to what your hair pH is. Or you can also put in the synthetic hair in apple cider vinegar solution so that you can use it after it has kind of been balanced the pH and it's closer. Let me just rest a little bit. So that the pH is closer to what your hair pH is. So that's one of the things that you can do, because there's a lot of things that can actually there are a lot of people that can get scalp scalp sores just because of being irritated by synthetic hair. And then the other thing as well is choose a protective style that is going to allow you access to your scalp so that you can actually take care of your scalp whilst you're in a protective style, especially if it's a long-term protective style. If you're going to keep your braids for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, make sure that you are able to wash them whilst you are in them, or make sure that your scalp does not get irritated. And the moment you start scratching like this, and then just know that maybe it's time to take them out, or it is time that I wash my hair. If you can't wash, like for example these ones, there is no way I'm going to wash because they are so loose and my hair is quite I think it gets somewhere up to here. So my hair gets somewhere up to here, and if I am going to wash this hair, or if I wash my hair in this protective style, this will just all fall off. I'm telling you, and my hair is already slippery, and this hairpiece is already slippery. So this is a protective style that you know you're not going to be able to wash it, and that is maybe your cue to remove it. You don't need to endure you don't need to endure any scalp sores just because of a protective style. No. uh-uh I refuse. I refuse. Yes, J Mark says I wash my synthetic hair in apple cider vinegar. This helps me. It does help a lot of people, you guys. So if you've been wondering why you scratch so much soon after having a synthetic hair put on your head, then try the apple cider vinegar trick. Or if you already have, let's say you went to a salon and then they put braids on your hair, and all of a sudden it is quite itchy, then just uh, come up, make an apple cider vinegar solution, make it a lot dilute so that it doesn't itch your scalp in the end. So it's normally 1 part of apple cider vinegar to 10 parts water, and then just spray all over your hair and all over your scalp and all over your, like, the length of the braids. If they're coming all the way up to here, yes, you need to spray all the way up to here, because even then, if you normally have a sensitive scalp, your skin may also kind of flare up if you have if you don't spray the whole length of the braids, because when it comes to your skin like this, it's going to give you an irritation. So that's, you may want to do that. um the next thing, when it comes to product buildup, okay, so I know a lot of people still use hair food, but if it causes a lot of product buildup, it's a try and error. If the hair food that you're using causes a lot of buildup, then just throw it away. Hey, it's not worth it. I'm telling you, because when you've removed your protective style, detangling is going to be a nightmare. And also, excuse me, and also sometimes you are forced to remove your protective style just because they are now, like, those white things right here. Then it's saying the product that you are using is not good for your hair because it attracts lint, it attracts dirt dirt on your hair. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these English words correctly, but yeah, it and now it attracts some dirt on your hair. Leave it. It's not worth it. Choose a hair food, or choose a spray that is going to keep your scalp looking good and smelling fresh, your hair moisturized, and it also doesn't cause product buildup. Because I know, like, if it causes product buildup, then you just look as if you didn't bath even. Like, come on, just take, or maybe it's your cue as well to take them out, or ditch your hair food, whatever comes first. But yeah, you need to remedy the situation. You need to change the situation. So so yeah, well, that's one of the things that you need to do when when you are in a protective style and it is causing product buildup. And then the stinky hair as well, you guys. There's so many hair foods or so many sprays that actually freshen your look and also keep you smelling fresh. So if something smells, if your hair is now smelling rotten or smelling, you know how stinky hair can be. It can really be stinky. So make sure you don't keep a protective style for too long. Wash it if you are able to wash it. If you're not able to wash it, just make peace with the fact that it may not go for 8 weeks with you having that hair on your head. You're gonna have to take it out. So I think that's one of the things that we need to take into consideration when we're doing protective styles. Make sure that we don't we don't allow our hair to become stinky. We remain professional hair, like we remain looking fly, we remain looking nice, and we also smell nice. So make sure that you take care of that. Take care of that. And then the dandruff, there are certain people who are prone to dandruff, others aren't. And if you are prone to dandruff, sometimes it means that you need to keep it in control. Guess what? Dandruff is a chronic condition. You don't exactly get healed from dandruff. You actually manage the situation and you manage your condition. So if you are prone to dandruff, like I am, your immune system needs to be like tops all the time. So work on your immune system, drink lots of water, and take your vitamins, especially vitamin C. I found out that vitamin C works wonders when it comes to my dandruff control. And also get a hair food that is specific for dandruff or a spray that is specific for dandruff so that you don't get itchy and you're scratching and you now have sores, and oh my goodness, and those sores are going to result in some form of hair loss. Yeah, so dandruff and also scalp psoriasis, scalp eczema. Make sure you keep it in control or under control so that you don't end up losing hair over it. So yeah, that's basically one of the things that you need to take care of. And I think I didn't touch on hair loss a lot um, I didn't touch on hair loss enough when it comes to protective styles. So to prevent you from having traction alopecia or hair loss because of traction, because of pulling, one of the things that you just have to make sure that, like, your parts need to be quite big. Can you see how mine are? Like the even the hairline, can you see how big this section is? So make sure that the sections are big enough to be able to carry the hair. These braids, these are passion twists. So these passion twists are quite long and they are not very light. They are medium light, if you understand what I'm saying. They're not too heavy, but they're not light either. So it's going to be pulling on the hair and weighing on the hair when I've got this hairstyle in. So make sure that your sections are not too small so that you don't weigh your hair. You don't weigh your hair uh, down. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't put too much weight on the hair such that it pulls the hair out of your scalp, out of your follicles. Make sure that you make big sections. So those small, I know they used to be quite the fashion, quite the trend. You still remember those small braids or twists that were like, and they'll even pick the hairline, and if if the hairline was snatched, then it would mean that the hairstylist knows her job, knows how to do hair correctly. But yeah, that may actually cause you to lose some hair, so make sure that you don't do that. Make sure that your sections are big enough to hold the weight of the extension, for hair to hold the weight of the extension. And also, the other thing that you have to take into consideration, don't stay with the protective style for too long. Like, it covers all these, from traction alopecia, neglect of the hair, scalp sores, product buildup, and stinky hair and dandruff. Don't keep your protective style for too long. I think 8 weeks is the like the max. You can go for 9 weeks, but I think that's pushing it. Like, why go for 9 weeks? It may actually cause a lot of damage, and there's a lot of shed hair as well. The detangling normally becomes a nightmare, and you may lose hair whilst trying to work through some knots and work through some tangles. So it may actually help you to say, okay, 8 weeks maximum, I need to remove this and let my hair go out without a long-term protective style, which is one of the things as well. Doing protective styles back to back may also cause you to lose some hair. So the hair becomes inflamed when you are taking out a protective style. No matter how gently you do it, the scalp does become inflamed somehow. It becomes sore. So if you're going to remove a hairstyle and then put another one in that same day, that may actually cause you to lose some hair, because that is causing like so much inflammation on the hair. What for? You can wait for 2 weeks before you put a long-term protective style again. So in between a long-term protective style and another one, you can actually do the short-term ones where you're just tucking your hair in, or you do a twist out and then you just fold the ends in to make sure that they are still protected, but you know that your scalp is also resting from all the styling and all the pulling. And then yeah, so I think that's basically it when it comes to protective styling, you guys. I don't know if you've got any questions. I am here to answer them, or any questions pertaining to other or any questions pertaining to other issues when it comes to hair care, or anything that you may want to hear about YouTube, about me, if you've got any questions that you want to know about me, and if about products, about the salon. I also own a salon, a natural hair salon here in Edenville, in Johannesburg, South Africa. So yeah, you guys, let me know in the chat, or we can wrap this. I'm waiting. What are you guys saying? Okay, so can we wrap this? Is Annie says she likes my earrings. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got this from a friend. Her name is Gems of a Natural. She's also a blogger. Her name is Joanne, but she goes by Gems of a Natural. She's a blogger, so that's where I got them from. Thank you so much. I love them too. Yeah. Oh, maybe I digress. No, where did I get these ones from? Hey, I think it's Gems of a Natural. Yeah. Oh, Annie, you didn't manage to hear everything. Oh, shame. But I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this live stream on my channel as well, so you can always check it out there. And yeah, and let me know what you think in the comments. Monique says, thank you. I learned a lot. It's a pleasure. That's what I'm here for, Monique. And thank you for tuning in, actually. Thank you so much for coming through. I am trying to start these live streams because it is sometimes questions that come up like so many times on my channel, on my blog, and addressing them here, and like really going into the whole topic and talking about it bit by bit helps to have a place where I can refer people when they ask so these kind of questions. Okay, what kind of protective style should I use? And to grow my hair, what can I do to grow my hair? And then I can actually direct them to this video or to this live stream that I'm doing now, to say, okay, you can just go and watch this, and then maybe you can get some form of an idea on what you can do to grow your hair. But some people say the hair is not growing, and yeah, and then that the last live stream that I did last Sunday is something that can answer to that, to say, okay, look here, your hair is probably growing unless you've got one, two, three, and you can actually check my video that I did, and it will explain some of these hair growth issues step by step. Okay, so thank you so much, you guys, for coming through. I don't see any questions coming. I don't know, maybe I answered each and every question that was supposed to be asked. I don't know. But I don't see any questions coming through. So I suppose this is me saying goodbye. What do you think we should talk about next time? Do you have any ideas, any questions? I've got something that I have lined up, but I also want to hear from you and find out what you would rather we talk about. What do you think we should talk about? Please tell me in the chat what you think we should talk about, so that I add value to you guys. I don't want to be talking about things that I don't want to be talking about things that don't add value to you, you know? The reason why I come online is to add value. You get helped, and then I'm happy. That's basically everything when it comes to me coming out here. This thing has got a mirror kind of thing. So when I'm touching here, I mean to touch here. And when I'm touching here, I mean to touch here. What do you want us to talk about next time, you guys? Let me know when it comes to. Okay, so Monique says, what kind of protective styles should we do? It depends on the condition of your hair, really. If you've got thin hair and it cannot handle hair extensions, it's actually not advisable to add hair extensions, but it's because it is going to, especially those that are going to weigh the hair, that are going to add weight onto the hair. It's not advisable because it's going to actually exacerbate or worsen the situation. So it is best to do something like a crochet, something that is going to a short crochet as well, where there's not a lot of hair on your head. At the same time, there's not a lot of weight of the hair pulling your head like out of the scalp, because that's one of the things that you have to consider. So there's a lot that you can actually do when it comes to protective styles. Long-term protective styles, I'm telling you, crochet is like my number one protective style, because one, it allows you to access your scalp, and at the same time it does not pull on your hair, and you will rarely get hair that is fallen out, like those braids whereby you are in the office and then says, so a colleague says, hey, I think this is your hair. And you're like, oh my goodness, another one is falling out. Especially if you've got slippery hair like mine, like, oh my goodness, another one is slipped out. And that's those kind of protective styles actually pull on your hair, and they're not very good. Even this protective style, keeping it for too long, it normally pulls on my hairline, and I don't like doing that. So the best is crochet, and that crochet shouldn't be too overwhelming as well if you are growing out your hair, or if you've got very thin hair. And then if you've got thick hair, then you are more spoiled for choice, I guess, because you can do braids, you can do twists, you can do so many things. And if your hair is long enough as well, you don't even need to wear add hair extension. You can get away with just braiding your own hair or twisting your own hair. And yeah, so there's quite a lot that you can do, but as long as you're not causing harm to your scalp and you are protecting the hair at the end of the day, and you are making sure that you're not causing any breakage, you're not causing any hair fall, or you're not going to cause any hair loss because of traction over pulling off your hair. And then Veronica Kobe says, thank you. Braiding hair in large sections is better than smaller sections. So, so true. As I was saying earlier on, in large sections, it actually helps you to keep the weight of the hair. It actually helps you to keep the weight of the hair extension. It helps you to keep the hair. Oh my goodness, my phone is saying it's you've stayed too long on YouTube. I put a reminder there to remind me when I have stayed too long on YouTube. So yeah, that's what it's saying. So it helps. Large sections are going to make sure that the hair extension doesn't put too much weight on your actual hair, because when it puts too much weight on your actual hair, that's when we see the braid pulling out or with hair on it. And if that continues happening for a long time, it might actually result in permanent hair loss, and we don't want that to happen. So it is very important to make sure that you don't do that. What else? You guys, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate you. And we are scheduled for another live on Sunday evening in South Africa. It's evening, but yeah, on we're scheduled for another live on Sunday at 5 o'clock in the evening South African time, which is GMT +2, and we are going to be Okay, so the next topic that we are going to tackle is you just hanging out with me. I don't know, maybe I should do some hairstyling. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like just coming here to talk about me, it's not a masterclass of any form. It's just me talking about my origin, where I am from, where I been, and yes, just you guys getting to know more about me, why I do what I do, and when I started doing what I do. So it's I'm going to do it whilst I am styling. Maybe it's going to be most probably not. Let me not say maybe. It's most probably going to be me styling this hair. So you guys, I will see you next Sunday, and please tune in, share my channel, and with your friends, and share my videos with your friends. I would really appreciate that. My channel is growing. You guys, I am so thankful to you guys for your support. You have no idea how much. So thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for coming to the live, for watching my videos, for the comments that you leave on my videos. I am so thankful. Thank you so so much. God bless you. I'm gonna go now. Bye.